Arsenic on the beat. Arsenic on the hot sauce. Nogal weer kopen, bro.
The Babbling Heads podcast.
Yo.
What's that supposed to do?
I was hesitating there. Normally, Shaq would come in. But,
Yo, this is the Base 187 and welcome to the Babbling Heads podcast.
I'm Dj Fingaz.
Joezone.
Charlie X2C.
That's nogal kwijt.
Hey.
Okay, normally Shaq would give like the fuck the intro and what, but the bra's sick today, so I was op zijn keel is een keer zeer. Weet je wat zijn boyfriend gemaakt met hom?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Shaq, are you watching?
Get well soon, Shaq. So that happened this morning, and then we would have interviewed a guy, an artist, and unfortunately he can't make it. But then I figured, nah, fuck, let's not waste the day. We've got Ryan Swano.
That's me.
That's him. Kijk, die bra, vanaf de eerste episode wat ons gemaakt het, vond die bra voor mij. Oké, right, nou, wat is jouw plan nou? Wat gaan ze maken? Kijk, ik heb hem vandaag voor de eerste keer gemiet, maar ons het like, zeg maar zo 3 uur conversations met me, of 1 uur of 2 uur, zo man. Lang conversations doen, mijn eerste keer wat is vandaag. But dude, I'm glad everything worked out the way it did.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I feel welcomed here.
Yeah. Thanks. That's what.
Check first before you that arsenic beat, my bro. Niemand al lyrics op uit beat gooien nie.
Ik denk dat is een track.
Is het een track?
Maar ik heb me gevraagd, dude, moet het original zeker doen? As long as it says conversation.
Nee, it's got a lekker vibe to it, bro.
It's a lekker beat.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's start off. Give us like a introduce yourself type of thing, and where you grew up and how you became who you are.
Okay, I do a lot of stuff. So I'm not gonna still go into details about everything. We're gonna get around to that. I'm from Elsie River. Lived there most of my life. The short little periods that I lived somewhere else was negligible. Like I lived in Bellagio for a little bit, that type of thing. But went to school in Bellagio actually, at Excelsior, and that's where I really first got into like that's 1985, my bro, and it's like it's firstly it's a time of turmoil, but it's also a time of like hip hop blowing up, my bro, and I've been fortunate enough to go to school with people like Tony Smith. You know the DJ Tony Smith? Yeah, I've been fortunate, and so like there were so many guys, Clinton Surf, that type of things, guys that were into hip hop.
He was a b-boy, Tony Smith, huh?
Yeah.
He started as a b-boy.
Ik
heb geschrikt toen die Bram is.
Yeah, no, he started as a b-boy.
Hij is getoond met POC.
Yeah.
Would have thought, huh?
Yeah, no, it's
fucking dope DJ now.
He's got one of the Wyatt. This is a song by Wyatt to the Floor. He's got one of the dopest house remixes.
90s, in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Bra.
Yeah, nee.
Syndicate was. I
think I'm not 100% sure where it was released
dope
on.
Fucking remix.
Just a side note. Shout out to Laverne Hipkoi.
That my friend do that.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks.
Alweer. Duidelijk.
Sorry, ik zit op school.
Sorry, ik zit op school.
Hallo Levin. Yeah. So, anyways, I grew up in a musical family. Half the family is either making music. I didn't even know before I was born. My dad was a cappella, like male quartet a cappella album. My dad was on type of things. Gospel artists coming in and out of our house. Later on, meeting jazz artists as I grow up and things. But like I'm drawn to music and like since I was a kid, like people, what do you want? Give me like a music. It's like, and my dad being a pastor and my mom being like, and them being gospel artists, they gaan nie nog 'n klomp heavy goed te speel in die huis en so aan nie. But it's like they allowed me certain leeway with music because it's one of the things that I was like totally interested. And then of course, the other thing is my dad made sure that me and my sisters actually formally studied music.
Okay.
So though I'm not a professional musician, and I actually suck at most of the instruments I play, but it's like I understand the principles behind creating music and behind writing music about and how it's like there's a lot of artists that yes, an MC is an MC and it's a choir MC, but I'm not gonna say that no, you're not a musician, because music isn't just the technical side of things, the theory side of things. You gotta have an ear and a heart for it, man. But the people that really make brilliant things, you will half the time you'll find out that they studied. Namagam, classically trained pianist.
Yeah.
Do people know that?
I don't think a lot of people know that. Ik weet, zijn ma was ook een music teacher.
Classically
maar ze gaan words and beats,
but it's like there's just some extra element to creating music when you actually have that formal background, training background. But it doesn't mean to say that somebody who isn't trained, because some of the best musicians that I know and some of the most creative guys never had any training. Somebody who I was fortunate enough to get a lot of mentorship from him was Robbie Jensen. And it's weird. Like I met him when he was like heavy into the drugs and stuff. Like yeah, and like I think I told earlier about me jumping on a stage when there's a band and sometimes there's a band and he's playing with the band en nou roep die ouens vir my op en sing ek. Hy man, hy laat my net die eerste ding is want hy laat my verstaan. Hy sing nog nwata man, hy laat my verstaan. But as later on, I found out that he had no music training, but he's one of the most brilliant composers. The thing is, he's composed some brilliant
people
things.
just have that ear, man.
Yeah,
some people have an ear for music that others don't.
Because you're going to have the training, the technical training on the one side, and then not have the soul and the heart for it.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, you could not have the technical training and be brilliant because you've got the heart and the soul for it. Because it's music is the language of the soul. So yeah, so when you see me doing hip hop things and going crazy about hip hop stuff, it's not hip hop what I can belangstel. It's like there's a whole multitude of genres out there, and anybody who understands hip hop knows that hip hop actually lends from all of them.
Kijk je, ik denk dat er een paar episodes in wat ze van mij gezegd hebben, ze wil die Babbling Heads opzet op Breino, man. Ik heb gecheckt met broer, joh, ik heb nog nooit die braag gemeten en die braag is ook goed giftig, man. That was it actually, thanks for doing that. So just tell me, ja, maar hij heeft ook nog geschikt wat je gehoord van die website, ja. Just tell us waar die idee gekomen voor jou en hoe het alles begint, hoe was jouw involvement met het?
Charles Ash. Hey, bra, I must put up this phone. Can you murder this thing? Let's murder this phone.
Ze gaan praten.
Powder off, ja. Check, yeah, okay. So Charles Ash, originally from Durban, from Wentworth in Durban. This bra in his teens, he's like a tech genius, and he starts a career and he moves to Joburg, meets his wife, they move to Cape Town. They basically half eloped to Cape Town, came to live in Steenberg, and then he realized, I moved from a colored area in Durban, apartheid is finished, I moved from a colored area in Durban to a colored area in Joburg to a colored area in Cape Town. Why? And then and they were on little forums and stuff on the internet and stuff, and then realized, but there's things that colored people from South Africa have in common, no matter where in the world they find themselves at the time. And at that time, most people that had access to internet were people who were living overseas or people that were in quiet jobs, man. It's like in the late 90s and early 2000s, it's like the only time that I had access to internet in the late 90s was when luckily the company I was working for was paying for my studies, so they allowed me to use the internet at work. So, but in 2001, when he found himself in Steenberg, he got this idea, let's start this website, and he moved back to Joburg and he started while over there. But he got the idea while he was here because he realized that all the nuances, no matter the different slangs and so and again different attitudes towards life, but all the nuances, and then also all the social good things about our social interaction as colored people, but also the
Not so good.
the not so good things.
But he seems to be covering just the good things, which is good.
No, it's
and then maybe
we're gonna get to that.
they're not highlighting all the
No, we're
bad
gonna
things
get to
and like
that.
making it
When we
like,
talk about the bad things, we talk about it with the intention of having it of trying to get it a good outcome.
okay, the positive light.
Yeah,
in
'cause
mind.
I must remember that you don't tap on a desk while being interviewed.
But funny enough, I don't think it comes on the dangers. But here's the thing: if he's doing the good things, no?
So
the rest of the world is already doing the bad things.
yeah, so
Exactly.
So yeah,
So that's he's giving a different perspective, like essentially.
So Charles started the website, but he started it basically as a social interaction platform for and at that chat areas.
So where
and
is
chat
he?
rooms and
Where is
stuff.
he now? Where is he living?
He lives in Muizenberg.
Okay.
He just moved now during the lockdown. He moved to Cape Town.
Back to Cape Town. So he was.
No.
Joburg.
Yeah, but he's originally from Wentworth in Durban.
Okay.
So yeah, so around about 2005, he goes and I'm not gonna pimp him, but it's like he goes and he was doing some work for Hype magazine on their databases and stuff, and then he I don't think he did it without permission, but I think he said, come, let's share your database or whatever, and then he was sending out. So I've never heard, by 2005 I still haven't heard of Braino.com yet. So it was 4 years old at that time. And he sends out newsletters to Summer of Vibes, Duggar's mailing list.
Yes.
And I'm on there. And even though a newsletter, you don't normally respond to it, I found a way to respond. And then me and him started communicating. And I said, brah, I don't have full internet access, man. So then I was well, but send me the topics that you're discussing and then I'll give you my input. And he started publishing my input. And then, and when I got Duggar's. So by the time I got full internet access, maybe later that year, whatever. I think it was later that year, late in 2005, early 2006. So my name was already on Braino.com. So I said, yeah, this bra actually took take the things that I'm saying seriously. And then
So what were you writing articles? Or
No,
what were you
I was
doing?
just responding to topics that they were discussing and to articles as well. And
So you were just, your comments were being highlighted or what?
Yeah, no, but this is not on the website. It's like he sends me the newsletter and then he asks me for my opinion on stuff.
Oh, okay. Then you
Because
you
normally
put
you
it
don't
in
respond to a newsletter. But because I didn't have internet, the only way was to communicate with this website was via email and responding to the newsletter. So me and him started having discussions around certain things, and his opinion versus my opinion, that type of things, and like his perception and stuff like that versus mine. And by the time I got in, and I jumped onto the forums, and daar's my mixes op die screen. But so I jump onto the forums and like I start interacting with the people on the forums, and next thing I know, you asked me to be a moderator on the forum and then administrator on the forum, and then the next thing I know, he says, but we already published some of your stuff, so you might as well start writing articles. And I started writing articles, and the next thing I know, you asked me to be the editor, and part of it and getting to know him was that this is a labor of love, and there isn't really any money in it. And I think same like you guys are doing, you putting in more money than what you ever can dream of getting out. If one day it blows up,
you never know.
If one day it blows up and that sponsor says bam, then but that is not the reason you start something.
Yeah.
You start
Just keep the heart
I
in
think Ryan and I were talking about earlier on, when you start doing something, you start doing it for love.
But this guy's got sponsored ads on you.
Nah, as some of those ads are actually expired, and we just keep them on because we don't want to put placeholders in there, man. Because the contracts expired on those.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need new ads on.
Okay, it's a cool idea though. It's a cool idea, but yeah, I must get in contact with this guy. The design of it can be freshened up, and it's a good idea.
No,
and I mean, if you can approach people, this is a very a novel idea. It's just maybe that he doesn't have the a lot of backing, don't you think?
The reason why Ryan is saying that is because he is A,
designer.
He's a designer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, sure.
He's a graphic designer.
No, I'm gonna hook you up with
You want to help? So
Yeah,
let the
yeah.
man help.
No, I'm just thinking. But I mean, we can all help. I mean, even if us talking about it on the show, people's gonna go check this out. I'm sure. Braino.com. Braino.com is quite easily like BRUINOU.com.
Yeah.
Quite easy.
A brown guy, a brain.
He's clever because the URL is very easy.
Very simple. It's not something you'll forget.
It's like how many letters? A few letters.
Here's the
very
funny
clever.
thing. Is this website has been around in different guises, but with the same URL. And I think for a little while between brain and O there was a hyphen, but then we took that out. But it's been around since 2001.
Sure.
Okay.
It's long, but it's
20 years.
There was a time that we took a massive dip because we had chat rooms and things and high forum interaction.
When has it been updated?
When
Quite a while back.
can I answer you that question? No. I just want to quickly say. So when Facebook came along, it's like everybody just abandoned shop and like here's a better platform and whatever, and we didn't know what to do. And then we turned it into like sort of a more news focused and more highlighting artists. Like there's not much activity on the music section because we tried to get away where artists send us their music, but we didn't want artists to send us their music without signing a disclaimer. Because we don't want the guy tomorrow to say, hey, you owe us money. You owe us money and whatever. And then Braino TV is like, either if you send us a video and we ask you to say to declare that you gave us permission to upload it to our server, then we upload it. Otherwise, we just stream it via YouTube. And like for instance,
like Babbling Heads.
Babbling Heads, like same like we're doing with Babbling Heads. And like if you're like in that category, like Babbling Heads is a category on its own, so it got its own little channel on Braino TV. So it's like
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah. So in terms of we're working on putting the site on better templates type of thing, and but we don't want to lose our archive. So and because we've got years of there's people that go into the forums, the old forums, which is still you can actually access the forums.
Check out the archives there, Charlie.
You can access the forums. And then there's archived articles and things. And there's people that do their PhDs in social studies, in linguistics. People from all over the world coming onto Braino.com and actually citing Braino.com when they do the credits, when they do the crediting at the end of their PhDs. So talk about PhD, Dr. Quentin Williams.
Mr. Quentin Williams.
Yeah.
Dr. Quentin, sorry.
Yeah.
He was on here a couple of months ago now.
Yeah. Him and a few others on the project.
This is a very good website, man. It's just that he obviously needs more people to contribute us to assist. Like I mean, you need a writer.
Yeah, we
need all those type of things. But it's
part
a
of
very
the
cool
problem
idea,
is
and if people could just lend hands, it could go places.
Yeah, it's like what I've experienced in the past, and yeah, I'm gonna moan. It's like people saying, "Hey, I wanna write for Braino.com," and then once their agenda is like out there, and we now publish an article under their name, and they don't come up with new material and say like, okay, hey, here's a new article, They now did 2 or 3 articles and it's got their fair share of hits, and it gave them a platform to say what they want to say. Now they move on. It's like because I can't pay you, and if we can create a model where there's more writers, then maybe we can throw more advertising and then we can pay you. But it's like if you're not going to stick around for that.
We know like a dope writer, Ling Shepherd, and she writes for she writes for the Daily Vox. I mean, like to have a writer like that would be like awesome for a website like this. She would fit like dovetailing perfectly with a website, but I don't know, like you said
on our Facebook page. On our Braino.com Facebook page, we actually share a lot of things.
There we go.
So now and again, we let her like Just rasu bitchy, like, and then wait for it. She says something brilliant, and we jump on it, and like it gets shared. And then, if you remember that thing, she did with the tourism thing.
Yeah, it's clever, yeah.
It's brilliant.
She said, zoals jy maar wat complain het oor die elections, wat gesê het die ISC is
Yeah, I saw that one, yeah.
I actually want to try and get it, but on next name. No, she's quiet. She's open.
What's his name? Mr. Adams. Who Adams?
I have it somewhere.
Something Adams was his name. Yeah, he was quite upset, that guy.
Yeah, I just want to ask you something. You're close friends with Laverne Hipkoi, right? Are you close?
And why?
Close?
Okay. We have conversations that don't appear on social media.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you perhaps know what happened with that big pen production? Wat hulle foto's so gebruik het. We should actually get her on the podcast and then ask her.
Yeah, sure.
Because
Who?
Laverne Hipkoi, because Big kept using her photos because like for their advertisements, man. But there wasn't any compensation, man, and it was without her permission.
Yeah.
So the brand Big wat die pens maak, die lines maak en hy
okay.
Allegedly.
Yeah. No, not allegedly. They did.
No,
I saw it on Facebook. Everybody saw it.
When you're in media, you actually have to say allegedly. Because of the company that can you sue.
Okay.
Ik heb dat dan gezien.
Yeah, but they can still sue you whether you're right or wrong. That's the
Information of
if we can talk about copyright in terms of images, there's a lot of people in entertainment now fighting with this thing, and I think Solifa Landa also highlights this thing a lot in some of his posts, where the use of the image and the reuse of the image is not currently. You don't actually you aren't protected by law.
Oh yeah.
You aren't protected by the law.
You know why?
Because
the
copyright in South Africa belongs to not to the person who is in the image, but the person who took the image.
Yeah, that's why Nina. That's why she died poor, because her stuff was repeatedly playing.
She wasn't getting.
She wasn't getting money
royalties.
That's how fucked up the law is the entertainment laws in South Africa. Yeah. I remember that article.
So the thing is this, that if you are your image is in an advert, and you got paid for the advert.
They just pay you once for the advert.
You can get reuse royalties.
Yeah, but what he's
but
saying,
if it's just a photo that somebody else took, and you don't actually have let's put it a contract that says that the use of that you have control over the use of the image, then the person who took the image or made the video has control over it, and they have copyright in it.
I think it was uploaded to Facebook, no?
Yeah.
And I think with Facebook also, once you upload it to Facebook, it belongs to Facebook. I think.
No, actually not.
Is it?
Actually not.
That's cool.
If the image belongs to you, and you upload it to Facebook, you still have copyright on that image. If the image belongs to you, the image belongs to you. And belongs to is, like I said earlier on, it's relative in terms of did you take the image and have you got or if you're the subject of the image, have you got a contract with the person who took the image to say that the copyright of it now belongs to you?
That's not fucked up.
So like for instance, if you're an artist and a guy does your album cover photos, whatever. You pay him, and the contract says that album cover now belongs to you.
Do you remember dinges Nirvana? No?
Yeah.
And like he was to swim.
Maybe.
He apparently he's suing them now a couple of million. No?
Yeah. Because they only paid him once for that, and then
yeah. But the thing is,
that album cover is like used in it for eternity.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he recreated it for years. No? So they ouder geraak het, die weer gaat swim like. So why now, man? Like, oh shit, I'm broke. Let's try and sue.
So did he first make money off it, like by recreating it?
I don't think
he didn't make money. He didn't make money.
He just made gat like.
So then there's nothing wrong with it, because if you think about it, that record company is still like making money off that image. That's such an iconic image. Just you explaining it like it's like
one has to consider that what if you got paid for it, what was in the contract? What was in the contract at the time? If commercial laws change in your favor during that time, since you signed that contract, then the contract can actually be overturned.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like for instance, if somebody takes a photo of me walking the road, the photo doesn't belong to me. I can't say nothing.
But it's
Yeah.
fucked up.
But if I own a photo or somebody to take a picture of me, and the person gives me the picture, and I pay the person for the picture, now the picture belongs to me.
Yeah. So this same thing happened with Tony Hawk. Actually, the Tony Hawk game. So they were gonna make it like before Tony Hawk's game came out. Like he never knew it was gonna be like a big thing. So they were gonna like pay him for like a one and done thing, like you saying, like pay him once off, but they didn't have the money or there wasn't that collateral. So the company said, nah, we're rather going to pay you in royalties. The company obviously thinking this game is going to be like,
it's not going to be great, whatever.
And the game became the biggest thing ever. The game became the biggest thing ever. And he's like, okay, I'll keep getting the royalties for the rest of eternity. Like, and essentially in that case, he
Talking
came
about
out
royalties,
better off.
Talking about royalties, music industry.
Is it? One and done and...
Yeah, he made a video of he made a video the video game. They said, Mike, can we use your thing? I said, there's a little Mike, but it's a stupid game. And
yeah.
He said, nah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Sold millions, bro.
And he didn't get the rights for it, like
I think they gave him like something like $500 or something.
for the user image. You see, instead of him saying like, yeah, I want royalties for that for the rest of eternity.
But he was so rich, you think it's not.
It's nothing.
My money's forever can't. Wasn't it?
Nah,
Interesting.
So yeah, talking about royalties now. As royalties is great if you got radio airplay and you got in terms of music now, and you got radio airplay and you got TV play and whatever. And I'm talking about you getting high rotation.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the people, it's like
Getting it once off.
as a royalties. If you want to make a living from music,
It has to be like a hit, man. Like Jay-Z.
royalties alone is not going to cut it. As talking to, and one of the first things I talk to artists about is like your music. Yes, you can have a cash flow turnover maybe from selling CDs out of your backpack. Or from a table somewhere or whatever at the event. But that can never be done. Your music is basically a calling card, a CV.
Yeah, even in the States, even like Cardi B then. I see me with his sales as some wie wat 'n company partner met.
Yeah,
to make
it's a calling card, it's a CV, it's a resume and concert tickets, of course. Live performances. The highest earning artists is in terms of make their money from live performances.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not record sales.
Tell me how did you get into DJing?
Dude, as I was like a kid, 9 years old, 10 years old, and I'm working at the record store, and not the record store, sorry, at the clothing store, and then, but
RJL.
yeah, dat didn't bestaan RJL. It's like, I'm gonna give him a shout out.
What's the record?
Mr. Winston Fredericks. Mr. Winston Fredericks took me on because since I was a lighty, casual job, my bro, all the time. Takes me on to work in his clothing store, and on a Saturday morning, my job is to play the music, and they figured out that I make choir selections because they knew I know music, and then they started calling me the DJ, and I thought, okay, and then I was about 11 years old. I think I was around 11 years old. My mom's friends smuggled me into a pub club type of thing to sit behind the curtain to watch the band. To sien ek DJ. And I was just intrigued because I saw pictures of a DJ set already and whatever, you know, those Satronic cases with the 2 turntables in and stuff like that. I saw pictures of that, but I never really saw one or whatever. And so I got interested and I'm hooked and whatever. And some of the things that influenced my life was the fact that, okay, because of the way there was turmoil in the 80s and whatever, I ended up like just being frustrated with school and going from being in the top group of learners in grade 9, standard 7 type of thing, and in standard 8 I didn't even go bother to write certain subjects, and like Maths, I went to go write one paper just so I can pass it. I can pass maths on one paper. That type of thing is like, and it's like arrogant, man. And like, but and I ended up failing standard 8. And then the next year, I decided, no, I'm not going to spend another year here. And then I went to go do a training course. Just turned 16, went to do a small training course, got a job, and then enrolled to do my matric correspondence. But anyways, my first pay, straight sound equipment, my bro, and buying LPs. It's like, bought a stack hi-fi. Then next purchase was a mixer. And then I tried to get another turntable, and then I got the opportunity to buy a CD player. That time CDs was like this is the now we're heading into the early 90s. Like I'm like 18, 19 years old and whatever. And
I never used to like CDs. When CDs came out,
it's like novelty most man.
I told myself, I can know
this is not gonna last.
This is not gonna last.
This is not gonna last.
Fuck, was I wrong? I was wrong.
But it didn't last actually. You were right.
No, but it actually did last.
It's like it's 10 years, bro. It lasted 10 years and then it was gone. Like that is it.
But you're still CDs. You're still CDs on the table.
But I mean, how many people use CDs?
It's gonna be vinyl, man. It's not gonna be CDs. But it outdid vinyl for quite some time. Man.
But you essentially were right because vinyl is coming back. Yeah, more and more people is gravitating.
But it was
back
a thing for. I didn't realize it's gonna become a thing, but it was a thing for 10 years in longevity wise.
Maybe electronic music is still cool for CDs, but there's a lot of people that listen to other music and they want vinyl to listen to it.
But it's anyway, like the novelty of a CD, and it won't wear off easily. Just like still the novelty of an LP. And its cover, and I was same like CD. Like one of the first things I noticed walking in here is like these are actually really genuinely two of my favorite CDs that you got on the table.
No, which one?
Ryan Winter, The Dawning.
Oh, the CDs.
And Jerome Rex. Al Jerome. As those actually get a high rotation play on my home system.
Okay, now look at
so it's like I'll be busy doing something, pop in a CD. And those things are lying near the top of and there's a fairly big collection.
Just to interject there, I honestly think that Jerome Rex is one of the most underrated artists there is out there. Like I spoke to my brother and about Jerome Rex and he's like, nah, my bro, this man is not gonna make it big. I'm like, bro, don't you hear this man's music, man? The brother's a flippin' artist and a half, bro. He can give any rapper a run for his money. And he's a singer as well.
He sing
befuck ook my
here's what sets Jerome apart, man. Jerome doesn't set out to make a song. Jerome sets out to give people an experience. I felt a little bit of emotion now when I said that.
Yeah,
but I've experienced that so many times, bro, with Jerome Rex. He goes, Jerome Rex pulls up at the park gym, a small little park gym, and run in the area, and he gives that people the same dedication that he gives the artscape, my bro.
Sure.
Yes, man. See, it's the day is for me as an artist, man.
Yes.
It's like, check here, that same dedication, that same presence on stage, that same interaction with the crowd that he would give at Artscape. And you've seen him rock Artscape.
I haven't actually.
You haven't? You must. I think when I get home, I'm gonna actually, I
haven't seen a live performance of him.
I'm gonna post, I've got a video clip of a live performance of him doing Rock Solid, which is the song on that CD that is sort of an ode to Ashford and Simpson and that era of music. Our love is rock solid, Ashford and Simpson, blah 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 blah. Ik kan niet lekker die woorden nou niet, but it's like.
Hij heeft gezegd als hij het op in een zang lekker, hè?
Oh yeah, cheers guys. But the thing is,
no, go on. It's fine.
If you take what kan ik mensen hoe klinkt eigenlijk? But okay.
Sprite.
Yeah, it's like doctorates with a bit of tea, man. With a bit of rooibos tea. That's what they do in the movies. But in back to Jerome Rex. No, it's I was saying that song. I've actually from the audience, sitting in the audience. I've got a video that I made with my phone. It's fairly decent quality. I think I'm gonna put it on my YouTube. And then I'm gonna then I go it on to Braino TV and I'm gonna tag you guys.
Tag me.
No. and he surrounds himself with people whose talent he respects. And the thing is this, if you're an artist and you cannot do everything. Sometimes you've got to actually let somebody else do something that they're better at than what you are at.
Die gaan in die conversation wat ek en sy gee dit op voordien. You have to have somebody that's going to do something. Either you're going to learn the skill yourself and become as good, but you're going to have to learn.
Yeah. As you got to know what everybody's doing. As you can't let people tell you, I'm doing this for you, or this, and this is so much hard work, whatever, and then they're bullshitting you. But as when people are doing things at a better level than you, and you want to create excellence, sometimes you actually have to hand over some of that responsibility of your creation to them.
Yeah.
But you need to learn. It is important that you need to learn to do how to do it yourself. I think on one of the previous things, I think you or Shaq said like somebody said to you, you asked him something, and they said, learn to do for self.
Learn to do it yourself, yeah.
You
said that.
You must have said it. Learn to do for self. The reason you should learn to do the thing is not necessarily that you have to do everything, so that you can know what the people on your team and in your ship, that when they row, that they are actually rowing the right way.
And that was actually the conversation about where you asked for music. You perm your asked this dude for music, and then at the end of the day, like
you told me to Google it.
Google it, but do it yourself, but like As I said, it was that conversation just to remind everybody.
And I can take it further. Het kan een conversation wees wat ons gehad het met wat hij bracht complaint van Black Noise.
Yeah.
So about the complaining, you have to do it yourself, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can you lie or
Look, to be honest, no, there is no such thing as a gatekeeper, man. There is no such thing, because who's keeping the gate? As hy man moet focus op sy eie
I think in corporate it might be.
Do it, just do your own thing, man. Don't worry about anybody else, bruh. If really don't want to play your music, then go to TikTok, go stream your YouTube,
create your own platform.
Create your platform, do your own fucking thing, stop complaining, man.
But yeah, excuse me.
No, I think that I've got this attitude of if something I'm doing for you, or if something that I'm explaining to you is my job, I want to get paid. But advice and helping you to get a step ahead of something that I know about and that I'm good at, it's free.
True.
It costs me nothing to give you advice. But sometimes my advice mustn't lead you on a path of dependency.
Yeah.
I must just be careful that my advice doesn't lead you on a path of dependency. Because the thing is this, that is why I distinguish between this is my job. I've given you advice so far, but if you want me to do more than that, it's my job. I need to bill you.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to invoice you.
Nou, sy vir my bel en nou en dan moet sy ja, wat kak het ek weer aangevang.
Also, let's just focus on this quickly. Laverne Hipkoi said, big Afro-punk identity, all use my face for marketing purposes. Someone also sold my fan art in Belleville. What a fan art is that, Laverne?
Can you give us
a
taste?
No, I think I'm aware of something where somebody took a fan of us, drew a picture of us, and said, "This is for you." But then the person, I think the person presented it with the original picture, and then also posted the picture of it on social media. And then somebody went and took that picture from social media, and went and printed it on T-shirts. And was selling it at Belleville Station.
Oh shit!
And like coining it is like, because it's, come on, that look is iconic, man.
Yeah, it's original.
Yeah. So
Afro-punk is that her? And big Afro.
No. Afro-punk is a brand. It's an international brand which hosts festivals. And if we go into the politics of us. It's like, and yes, I'm not going to use the word allegedly. No. I'm not going to use the word allegedly. What I'm going to say is,
I'm trying to save
there are allegations because I'm not alleging anything here, but there are allegations, and there have been fingers pointed at the organizers of Afropunk that the management structure is top heavy white. So there is a high chance that there can be cultural exploitation. I'm not saying there is, I'm not saying there isn't. That is the allegation. That there could be cultural exploitation whereby the brand Afropunk makes money through the punk culture of Africans in Africa and the diaspora. And then
Shaq isn't here, but I knew this conversation was going to go to this.
But at the end of the day, then those people who actually live and practice the culture and who brings the art to the festivals, whether it be a visual arts or performing arts, and design and type of things like that, as those people there are allegations that those people aren't getting a fair piece of the pie.
Tell me, I got the question, man. Wanted to ask it a while back. It's about live performances. Like, I noticed that you seem to have like a passion for live performances. You mentioned it a few times, like especially like singers, and now you mentioned it again with festivals and stuff like that. I also do a little bit of live performances, and I think
I've been doing.
I want to look at live performances in Cape Town. Like, essentially, that's a lot of that's a big way for artists to make money in Cape Town. Live performances, and I feel a lot of time that and this is across the board. This is like, if you look at comedy, if you look at I saw like MMA, if you look at the people attending fights and stuff like that, live events, like live stuff, not Netflix, not your watching
not
on
your
TV,
streaming, not your streaming, streaming the concert
so
type of thing.
Artists from within your own community or city creating stuff. B-boy, Charlie doing a B-boy, doing the MC, stuff like that, being a thing. I feel somewhat people don't go out there and really embrace it. Like you mentioned Jerome Rex, I haven't seen him live, and I bet if I see him live, he's as good as any international artist. What is that? What do you feel? Why do you feel there's that lack of like if international artists come out here in Cape Town, they book out Cape Town Stadium.
Okay,
like they said, when Justin Bieber's now set to perform in South Africa, he must bring his own generator.
Okay,
but what do you equate that to? Okay, people, Cape Townians especially.
Firstly, is let's look at music and let's look at marketing.
Okay.
Let's look at marketing,
music and marketing.
Specifically at music. And then we can extrapolate that and extend it further to other genres and other art forms. 100%. But look at music. If you look at the music aimed from our communities, by people from our communities to people in our communities, the first thing that you need to overcome, the hurdle you need to overcome, is that your fans have economic, personal or financial issues.
Yes.
So they cannot.
Money's tight.
They cannot all afford to pay a 200 rand ticket. Number one, but number two is you can become innovative and then work with people like and I'm not plugging them, but this is a way to do things. I'm not plugging, but Grand West, for instance. Look at Roxy Review Bar.
What do they?
It's for instance, you got an artist like August West. I don't know if you know who August West is, but one of the most brilliant young saxophone players in the Western Cape.
Yeah.
His show was at
do they
is basically sold out.
Do they offer like a low premium or what brings them? Because I've performed there actually at the Roxy Vivo. I've done stand-up comedy there. One of my best shows, and it's a beautiful
and the sound quality
brilliant. Everything is awesome. I loved it.
The thing is it depends what kind of deal you got with him, but it's like, is your performance a collaboration? Is it a solo performance?
That one that I did was a collaboration.
Multiple
comedians.
The money that you get out of it isn't that great. The money that is there. But the thing is this, Grand West, for instance, doesn't really get a big cut of the pie, because if you look at it, your concert ticket was probably 120 rand.
Yeah.
Nah?
Somewhere around there.
You probably had, this was pre-COVID.
I think it was like sort of during COVID that time.
Okay,
Not
so-
the December like period just before the lockdown.
Just before the lockdown. So, okay, you had a full house, which
Was not a full house.
but okay, let's look at
Three quarters, say three quarters.
Three quarters, you're looking at about 100 people, 120 people. Because I think it can take up to 160 people. I'm not 100% sure now.
I would say there would be like 80 people there, like maybe it's half even.
Now, if you look at 120 and you say look at $100, so it's 80 times $100.
Oh, 80 times $100.
8,000 rand.
8,000 rand.
That would be 80 times 100.
Is
Okay,
it
wait,
8,000.
It's 8,000.
Equal to, no, it's 10,000.
No. I said let's look at 100 rand.
Carry the one. Carry the
you said
one.
120.
Yeah, I said let's look at
I'm
100.
120 again.
Okay, but okay, let's look at
But yeah.
8,000.
this show made 10K. No, they're paying the sound. They're paying the sound guy.
No, I was thinking about 120.
The sound guy works permanently for them,
That's
so
why I
he's
said
salaried.
10,000.
He's not a special event fee that he's getting. He's salaried.
How much is it to book the place?
The sound guy. You're not booking the place. They're booking you.
Yo, man,
Okay.
that's a sport for
So
W.
or you
is that-
negotiate a deal with him.
Okay,
with the entertainment
so that is
department.
the unique thing
Yeah,
that
so for instance, that 8K, it's to them that's nothing. But one of those guests is gonna spend 8K on a casino floor tonight. You know what I'm saying? So they will gladly split that 8K up between your artist collaboration, which means everybody goes. Oh, maybe there's 6 artists, or let's say it's 8 artists. Everybody goes home with $1,000 for the night. Sy het nie eens anders $1,000 gekry nie. Sy het die volgende $1,000 in jou sak in jou hand gehad nie.
Yeah.
But the thing is but it's a small audience, it's an intimate audience. But the thing is it's your name is up in lights in a prominent place. But now, if you didn't grow to a point where now it's a 2-man show, then it's a solo show, and now you're running a week, and now you're running a special, and now they move you to a bigger venue than the Roxy Review Bar, and eventually, this doesn't happen a lot for anybody, but eventually you could play the arena and play it with other artists or whatever, or you could open up for a big act in the arena because you've already got built up that. No, but now because you said nah, ek of vir die Grand West perform vir R1,000, ek moet mal wees.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
it's
attitude.
it's an attitude and it's a long-term vision. But firstly, the idea of where I'm going to have my show. Do I approach a venue, talk to them, talk to the manager? It's like I used to run. I've run a nightclub in Kells River, and before Suburban Menace took Lyrical Warfare to Stones, they had something there. They came and they had a meeting with the owner. I happened to bring somebody to the meeting, and then die word ek deel van die meeting because the guy said, so I know, how's it, like, and it's a long time no see. Siko's dad is a pastor, my dad's a pastor, mense ken van mekaar, sulke tipe dinge. That type of thing. And next thing you know, I ended up running that same club. But next thing you know, it's like artists approach you. You don't have to really go out looking for artists. So what's wrong with a hip-hop artist or a singer or a comedian approaching a club manager and says, check here, can we work on something? It's like, let's look at a Wednesday night. You don't have a high turnover on a Wednesday night. You're not having a cover charge on the dance. Let me do an event here. I guarantee you that I'm going to sell at least have 50 people in your club. You normally have 30 people in your club on a Wednesday night. So your bar's going to be busy. Maybe only 5 of the 30 people don't drink. So your bar's going to be busy. Let me take the door. Let's go half on security. I'll bring in my own sound guy. I need audio reinforcement. So I'll bring in my own sound guy and I'll pay him from my takings. Now you say you got this event. It's now a month. You got a month lead time. You've got this date with the club. Now you go look for a sponsor. You approach an alcohol brand. You approach a clothing brand.
Okay, so now we're passing the part of now booking the club now. Now you're trying to work on your marketing, so to say.
Now you're approaching a brand, a clothing brand, a cool drinks brand. As if you're not a drinker, as you can have a graffiti artist do a piece while your event is going on, you approach a spray paint brand as well, and says check him, and it's like we put your name up, and you end up having 300 people in this guy's club that can take 600 people because they come under 50%. But you've now gone to from just asking the guy, "Hi man, can I have a show in your place?" To having a big thing that's now got the backing of a brand where you can pay for advertising and you can actually have
a showcase.
Yeah, you can actually.
They need to start doing more brand collaborations. I mean, influencers are making more money on one photo than they're making on an event.
Yeah.
So it's
the thing
like,
is,
you need to start.
But look at mag ik radio stations een naam noemen?
Yeah.
People complaining about Good Hope FM. Good Hope FM, if you collaborate with an NGO or a community organization, you are artists, collaborate with community organizations and NGOs. Tell them, let's make a deal. I take 50%, you take 50%. It's free money for them. And you've got a ready market because they've got supporters as well. Now you go to Good Hope FM and tell them, check here, I'm doing this. And I've done this like I mentioned earlier on when we were talking on the side, it's like up until 2018, I think, it was my last one. But for 5-6 years, I've been, either kid has to go to Joburg to attend a tournament, or he's got to go overseas to go to a soccer clinic, or like my goddaughter went to go dance in Korea or something like that. And every year I take at least one. I used to take at least one kid and do a fundraiser, and then I collaborate with other DJs. I collaborate, and they all the names and the brands go on the flyer. And this one is sponsoring the sound. African Drama is sponsoring the sound, which is now Nomad Africa. How Jeremy? But the thing is this: at the end of the day, then this light has got, even though it doesn't come as fair, but now he's got pocket money. Was misschien niet say pocket money, but now I go to Good Hope FM and I tell Good Hope FM I'm doing this for this kid, and Good Hope FM gives me a plug on 3 different shows for free. I'm not bucking the system. The event is legitimate, a fundraiser. Yeah. But my name also gets out there as an artist, as an entertainer, as a DJ.
Yeah, they'll.
There's many ways.
They will mention the event, but they won't mention
so
the sponsor.
They won't mention the sponsor.
Yeah,
they won't mention the sponsor. Yeah. So it's but you use those tools.
Yeah.
There are lots of free tools. You can social media, for instance. You can actually get people. You can just nicely ask your friends, create a post, copy the link, ask your friends on WhatsApp. Within the first hour, please do it on your personal page. Within the first hour, please, all of you share this post for me and comment on it.
Yeah.
Because that's what makes a post go viral, is comments and interactions.
No, that's cool.
So instead of just putting the post up there and hoping people is gonna like it, send the link of the post to your friends.
It's interesting to hear because ik weet niks van events. I'm in the art or whatever. I'm interested to hear how you came about becoming an artist management. How you went into that. Okay.
I provide management services.
Okay.
I'm not an artist manager. I provide management services. So an artist approaches me.
What's the difference though?
An artist manager will take an artist and build that artist profile up from us with the aim, and this is becoming more and more difficult, with the aim that at the end of this artist's which could stunt with him, or as the artist's career grows, that they will get a share of concert takings, of merchandise sales, a share of music royalties, a share of concert. I said concert fees already, and sort of being brand sponsorships, stuff like that, that they negotiate on behalf of the artist, and their aim is then to get a percentage at the end of the day.
It's fair.
it's fair. It's fair, but it's becoming more and more difficult because the market is shrinking. There's other ways for artists to do a lot of things for themselves. So this type of services I offer is like something that you can't do for yourself, that you don't have the technical and skills or the marketing skills or whatever, or you don't know how to work with Samro and things like that. Those type of things, if I do that service for you, you pay me for doing that service for you. If there's an artist that I'm interested in, and then I will do some of those things quid pro quo, or I will do it like on a proviso that is like, I'll get you so far, and I'll help you get so far, but if you drop me there, then I drop you completely, and I won't badmouth you in the industry or nothing like that. I'm not a douche, but the thing is this, I'm just not going to carry on working with you because, but we're gonna reach a point where I'm gonna start invoicing you. So if I work with you up to a certain level, we're gonna reach a point I'm gonna start invoicing you because sy gaan nie geld maak met royalties nie. Jou numbers kan maar hoeveel 1000 downloads het. Sy gaan nie geld maak met royalties nie.
True, ja.
As ek vir jou, you know what, when I will manage an artist, né? And say, as I'm gonna be your manager, and I'm gonna do full management. Like we've got some great artist managers already in the hip hop arena in Cape Town and in Joburg, but and they're taking on artists from scratch or artists that are just starting to blow, and they're trying to take artists much further, and with the aim of then getting their cut of the pie. But the day I'm gonna do that is gonna be somebody that I can actually put in that arena, like Grand West. That I know is going to go through that steps of they're going to do small little shows in nightclubs, and it's not going to pay a lot. They're going to do little auditorium events. They're going to do festivals and stuff like that, and they know that their CD and their album or whatever or their singles that they're dropping is just a CV. No, not just a CV, but it is basically a way to build up a fan base. But yes, if they release songs and expect royalties from radio stations or whatever, but they're gonna understand that the money is gonna come when they are in that arena. And if I don't feel confident that you're gonna be performing quite in a nightclub, I'm not gonna work. I'm not gonna see you in the arena. And that brings us back to. What I said earlier on about Jerome Rex. Giving 150% to a crowd at the Park Jam.
True.
No, then there's only 30 people at the Park Jam, man. Because it's like cold weather or something like that. And this bra is giving that type of show, and then still he goes and he packs for a couple of nights in a row him and his crew, and his backup band and singers, they pack the Artscape for a couple of nights in a row. Twice already, they've done that. So the thing is this, if you can't see your artist bringing that kind of money for you, then it's no use becoming the artist manager, because now you're just providing services, and if he doesn't pay you for it, you're just going to end up losing.
Oh, yeah. Charlie, are we going to?
Yeah, I just want to show some of Laverne's fan art.
Sure.
Because she shared the link. So I just want to show some of the fan art on here, so that people can see. This is the fan art that she was talking about.
Obsessed, no?
Yo, this is kind of
is
hectic. This is hectic, bro.
I like this one also.
Wait, this one.
Yeah, but these pictures aren't all by the same person.
It's different people.
Oh,
different artists.
Yeah, you
Different
can see
artists.
it's
Different artists working in
doing.
different mediums. Some is pencil, some is what you call it. And there's digital versions as well.
Yeah.
And there's 3D versions and
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing this, Laverne. So that people can see, man. Stop exploiting people as a belief, man.
Yeah.
It's a belief.
Yo, there's more.
Mr. Fingaz, as must no issue if I play the outro with one of my songs, eh?
Yay!
Nou, speel eens, maar
Kapers woelig.
speel je nou, man. En,
Yeah, check here, man. Check here. Hey, man. I should have given you that flash, man. One of the artists that I work with. Didn't I? Next time. Ja, man, dat pretty good at make it, ne?
Ja, ons had outro met die boef als het hier issue is. Dat zou moet je issue bij of Mr. Fingaz. But yeah,
Yo, man.
From the Babbling Heads.
What song is it? Is it your song? Tell us about
Yeah,
it.
it's my song. It's my song.
What, you don't even tell us anything about it, anything like this. Let's play a song.
Die remix is hier op Soundcloud, but die track zijn naam is Kapers Woelig is niet hoe oos celebrate in die kapen of hoe ik celebrate in die kapen. Die track zijn idee uitgekomen van een vriend van mij, which is zijn naam is B-Boy Mouse of Maestro. Hij is actually a dope artist. He actually wrote the first verse. The chorus was inspired by him. And then I was like, dude, aren't you gonna use this? Why did you just write this, man? Okay, give the song to me, give the verse to me, and I'll just rewrite it and then create another verse and then pop. But it's because it was so different. I had to make the song, man, and just to show artists that you don't have to follow the norm, man. In Cape Town, that you can actually be
original or was the remix?
It's the original. I don't know. I don't have the remix anymore. You didn't send it to me. You didn't send it to me again because, hello, my phone broke. So my sister wiped my phone.
Okay, play the song. You're telling me about your phone.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah, we want to hear you building me up.
Before we go, one of the artists that I work with, Tago Jones, born in Denmark to South African parents. He's in South Africa now. Sadly, unfortunately, couldn't make it today. And he's leaving Cape Town tomorrow. But I want you to check out his page, Tago Jones.
Now we can organize something. We can do it over Skype. Maybe
okay, sure.
When he's back, maybe back home.
Yeah. That is somebody that sure. Though I'm only providing management services to him, and I'm not his manager, but that is somebody I can see back the arena. Or at least opening up for international artists at the arena.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe an international artist opening up for him.
Before we play out with the song, I just want to say thank you, Mr. RS. I really do appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, man. It's long overdue, ne?
Ja, true, dude. It's true. Ik was blij dat het nog uitgewerkt hoe uitgewerkt, you know? So, but Shaquille's couldn't be here, but yeah, next time.
The throat infection. Dat was een dukje nou, weet je. Naughty little boy. But yeah, from the Babbling Heads again, thank you, man, for sticking it and dropping some knowledge for some people.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear you later, ne? At that event in Elsie's.
Oh, yeah, I'm sticking it there. I'm performing the song as well.
People saying it's good with this Elsie's, man.
I'm gonna perform the song as well. So yeah.
Oh no, one is plugging his own shit.
Yeah.
Hey!
From the Babbling Heads.
I'm DJ Fingaz.
Joezone.
Peace.
And I'm the guest, Ryan Swano.
Jolly X2C. En luister die track, man. Luister net die track. Laat ik je een beetje vertellen hoe ik het doen in de kaart, man. Of hoe oors het doen. Oosters, rastig in boelag. Heel dag van maandag tot zondag. Breekdag, zoek aandag, afzondag. Redag, losmaandag, geen vrouwdag. In die dag gespandag, geen zoterdag. Krabrag, tostok, in voorbaardag. Kamag, langdradig, in stadig. Geen kaapse tanden, harendag. Kijk, je vraagt van Mandela, hij leda, ook magic jela. Waar ze chonga, ze keta, seda, wela capela. Loba baje landela, die kapse kunt sasabela, no karada. Die si kapse dank zijn vondela. In ons praat met die nieren, als gist of fievel, maar gieren. Ons gaat de kieren, traperen, poefieren, hoe jere die lieve. Gaat kariba, profieren, dieren, plezieren, tot sieve, spieren, soos dieren. Gaan rieden, verbieren, sieren, manieren. Ons is rastig in boelag, heel dag van maandag tot zondag. Breekdag, zoek aandag, afzondag, redag, losmaandag.